Well, hi there, folks. How are you? This is not Katie Sackhoff. This is not Starbucks. Uh, unfortunately, I can only hope to be that attractive. But in my own right, hopefully, I'm an attractive Asian man, and I'm living my best life in a Viper pilot body. But but I want to introduce the esteemed panel for the evening, and hopefully the other folks will join us shortly, like Bear and Steven and everybody else. But for now, we have the great, the wonderful, the mesmerizing Raquel Briggs.
You're too kind.
And of course, my dear and wonderful friend, Culture Casino. And we are very happy to bring you our thoughts on part one of the season finale for season two of Battlestar. Because I just want to start off with saying, this is so it's so funny, the relevance and the timing that we get to lay down your burdens part one and part two, because there is, and we'll visit in a moment in the episode, but it gets to where they're talking about stealing an election. How fun.
A very timely episode.
but at least we're talking Battlestar politics, and we're taking hopefully the evening off from real politics, and we could go ahead and get your guys' mind off it, as Ruth Korean mentioned so wonderfully earlier while you guys were waiting for the show. We were watching the chat backstage as we were preparing, so it's great to see.
Is here. PJ, got to give a shout out to PJ.
Yes.
Hey, PJ, good to see you, man.
Oh yeah.
Missed.
We have wonderful our wonderful now moderator, Lady Mist, and of course we've got Brian the Observer, my pal Brian TV. How you doing, buddy? Parrot Head, and it's great to have Ruth Korean here, because Ruth Korean knows this Battlestar. Ruth Korean, I wish you had. You need to let me know if you have a really good working streaming setup, or at least a good microphone, and I would love to get you on here, because you really do have an impressive wealth of knowledge about the show, and I'd love to invite you to be a part of it sometime, because you always have really cogent and great thoughts in our chats, so it's awesome. And Porg, it's great to see you, my friend, as always. I love seeing you, Porg, and thank you for your support, my friend. All right. Well, as I often say before we start off and get into an episode, if there is Battlestar news, I will go and cover it for you guys, if there's news about anything coming out. And we are going to start off with something a little bit on the controversial side, because I gotta say, hats off to John. I've been light on my writing this week because of what was going on with my mom and things. It's just been a very, very busy week behind the scenes for me, and he so nicely wrote a Battlestar story. I was slated to write this one, but John took it, and that's why he's the best boss in the world, for stepping up when I'm not there. So he's great to work for, and kudos to him. But we had a rumor earlier this week about the fact that for this next Battlestar project, what they're going to do is they were going to have specifically a non-binary actor play the role of Starbuck, and I'm not. I am vehemently against this, and I want to explain to you folks why. And that is the fact that I think that this show, in its casting, did a wonderful job. I thought they did all right. I didn't mind the swaps. It was a shock to the system at first for those who were used to TOS Battlestar.
Mm-hmm.
The same as if Star Trek went in a direction like that and had gender swapped some characters.
Yeah,
It
but there's a big difference here though too, right? And I know
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of our listeners are on side with this, and that is that the reimagined Battlestar Galactica came right out and said that. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that it was reimagined, it helped it make it more palatable for people and say, okay, well, we can see this in a new way. Whereas with Star Trek, they just ruined it.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is that I think they did it right here because they still got gifted actors to play the role.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't Dirk Benedict or the typical male figure of Starbuck or the male figure of Boomer, they took Boomer in a fascinating direction. They took they added with adding some of the female silence in absolute fascinating direction. And of course, with Starbuck, it was a Starbuck and love. It was just from a different perspective, and it was so good. And all the characters were so human and flawed and real, and it was definitely a different tone, and it caught on, and that's fine. But this is a whole nother level, and this, in my opinion, is absolute pandering, and this is the equivalence of people taking a lap and running around in front out in the street like a crazy person waving a flag like look at me, simply to say I'm demanding diversity. It's like, no, you're not. You're not demanding diversity. You're not being different. You're not doing anything that is revolutionary, because I would argue that the shows from our past that we love, not only original Battlestar, not only reimagined Battlestar, not only Star Trek and things like that, they were the pioneers. They did it long before you. And Hollywood is struggling so much to be relevant and so much to stay in this lane of, oh, look, we're the good guys. We are so forward thinking. No, you're not.
Yeah, well, for me, like I agree with much of what you've said because my opinions on the fact that they say that the original Star Trek wasn't progressive when it was actually dangerous to be progressive. It wasn't comfortable and easy to be progressive like it is now. But I would like to say this, that I'm willing to give the non-binary character a shot. I'm willing to give another reimagining a shot. However, I am going to say that if it winds up being like Discovery, where they treat these people as they treat the idea, not these people, they treat the idea of it as something that is very superficial. They don't treat lesbian, gay, bi, trans, and non-binary people as people. They just treat it like it's an avatar or an idea, and it's just very shallow, and we don't actually get to know the character, and we're constantly focusing on the character's sexuality from outside of the text, and it interferes with our ability to be engrossed with the text and enter the imagined world. And that's when I'll take issue with it. And that's why I take issue with Picard, and that's why I take issue with Discovery, is that they tried to redo it, said they were the first to do it, and that was a lie. And then they did not make these lesbian, gay, bi, and trans people. They made them empty avatars that were just ideas that stood for something that the corporation wanted to market. And there's a big difference there. When you have an author who has an idea about changing hearts and minds and opening hearts and minds and drawing us together, it can be very sincere and very beautiful, and it can move society forward. But you can also have a corporation that will step in and try and use people and exploit people as a marketing tool. And that's where I say no. That's where I put up my stop sign and say, nope, this is not for me. So I can't judge it until I see it, but I understand your concern.
Yeah, because now the rumor comes from a person named Emery Kaya and they write for a blog called The Vulcan Reporter, and they revealed also the casting descriptions for both Starbuck and Adama for the show. Now here's a casting description for the show before they decided to pivot and make this announcement that they were searching for an exclusively non-binary actor. Now, the description for Starbuck reads, a gifted Viper pilot with an attitude that has hindered her career in the colonial fleet. Physically fit female between the age of 25 to 30 years old. Okay, that's fine. Leave it at that. This whole waving this flag like, yay, we have to exclusively cast a non-binary person.
Well,
no.
Let me just interrupt you there for a second, though, because, I am for, moving this idea forward of non-binary. We've had non-binary before in Star Trek. That just the idea is in the execution, though. And it's also this idea that one has to see oneself on the screen and that the character actually has to be that in real life. And that's where there's a disconnect for me, because I think that we can actually move society forward and have more progressive ideas forwarded when we start to challenge stereotypes, when you start to have international sex symbols who will play gay characters. I mean, essentially, I think it's very important for an actor to be able to act. You can't just search for non-binary people to play non-binary people. That's not acting. And I also don't think that it's fair. And I also don't think that it's quite as progressive as it could be. You get an international sex symbol like Idris Elba, and he plays a gay icon in the drag community, for instance. That's when you're actually moving society forward. But to just look, we're going to search for a non-binary person to play a non-binary person, you're really not suspending any belief or creating any theater in the mind. You're not creating anything. You're just, like I said, once again, this is a corporate marketing tool, and it's not effective and it's not working. People want sincere characters that they feel they want to know, they want to get to know, that they want to care for. And so far, it's
exactly.
Not.
Thank you. Because woke marketing is the bane of my existence. I hate it with a passion. I can't stand it in my video games. I can't stand it in my, TV shows. I can't stand it in motion pictures. I think woke marketing is the bane of existence. It is definitely does not present Hollywood in a good light. It's definitely
not sincere.
It's insincere as all hell.
Yeah.
They
I'm sorry to interrupt you again. I'm such an interrupter, and men are supposed to interrupt women, but on this show, I'm the interrupter. Love you, everyone. I'd like to welcome author Stephen Walton to the panel.
Oh, shit, am I on screen? Oh, hi.
Handsome. You were missed. And guess who has joined us in the chat? My man, TMF. Woohoo! Hello, baby.
What's up, Cox?
Anyway, sorry about that. Drew, take it away.
Yeah, so as you were shouting out the chat, yeah, it's great to see TMF and Mars popped in, and of course, Wookiee supremacy. It's great to see you. But yeah, I have a problem with the whole woke marketing aspect of it, and I don't like these campaigns, especially when they they detract from as what you were saying, Raquel. They detract from the show. Yes. You know, they want people to watch their product and watch their creation, but they detract from it because they're so busy tripping over themselves saying, oh, you know, we're the best of diversity and inclusion. No, you're not.
Well, the thing is that I just want people at home to realize that this criticism doesn't always come from a place of hate. I'm a left-minded person. I am pro-lesbian, gay, bi, and trans. I support that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I can't criticize this insincere marketing that they're doing, and it's not very nice. And it's not just a basket of deplorable people who are criticizing this. You know, if we
it's people with common sense.
If we had an author come forward who wrote an outstanding, epic, non-binary character, and they went searching for someone to play a non-binary character, I don't think anyone would be saying a word right now. But what we're doing is
how much are they paying?
We're retconning stuff for corporate marketing. And I think that's where the rubber hits the road for many people, regardless of their political or social or religious beliefs. The rubber hits the road at the insincerity and the retconning. This is not an author. This is a corporation using it as a marketing tool.
That's a showrunner. And that's been happening in Star Trek for a bit, as you called out, Raquel. We're watching STD and we're watching Wheelchair Man in the background wheel about and have no actual influence over the show so that they can be inclusive and have somebody in a wheelchair on the show.
It's it's exploitative, wouldn't you say?
Well, no, absolutely. I mean, for using your term, an avatar, you know, or to use other people's term, virtue signaling, or any of those other things. Everything they do is incredibly disingenuous. Again, this comes down to the thing that that offends me the most is checking boxes.
Didn't they build Worf a whole new spine? Yeah, I'd be pissed if I was in the future and they couldn't get me out of the damn wheelchair.
Dude, don't even get me started.
If I was in the 22nd century and my wee didn't work, I'd be upset.
Well, it looks either that's working right now because I'm watching you bob up and down on stream, or you're rolling a joint. That's what I thought.
But imagine how Christopher Reeves would feel about all of this, because wasn't he in support of that exoskeleton technology?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Star Trek's supposed to be about hope.
The future.
Aren't we supposed to be building hope? Aren't we supposed to be putting the guts in these great dreams, these great scientific dreams and inventions?
Yes. You know, science fiction, and to a larger degree, a lot of the shows that we watched, a lot of the action and adventure and science fiction shows were about that sense of wonder and that sense of hope that heroes instilled in you, or the fact of one person could really make a difference. Or just things like that. It was about that, or the fact that showing us that our future could be hopeful, that we had something to look forward to. It's all that stuff left. It's just and this kind of marketing, it just does not get it done.
What did they do? I'm sorry, I know I came in late. What happened?
Well,
y'all are just upset.
Well, no.
Our feathers are officially ruffled.
I see that.
Well, no, Stephen.
My
I was talking about the story that John F. Trent so nicely did. I was going to do this story, but John picked it up for me. Yeah, because I couldn't make it this week. He picked up the story for me. But yeah, I'm hoping that with this new show, I was hoping before that it was going to be tied to the universe and there was going to be some continuity. Now I hope it's its own thing because I kind of don't want it tied to that because I don't want it besmirching the good name of this.
As long as
we're talking about,
as long as they continue the tradition of great storytelling epics, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, well,
like me, love you, Stephen.
Love you too, sweetheart. Yeah, what are they? So it's not going to be tied to the BSG universe. It's going to be entirely new.
It sounds at one point like they wanted to tie it in with some of Moore's stuff, and now it sounds like it's its own thing. So, hey, whatever. No, we're not going to know until it drops.
You know what I hope? Maybe those ships at the end of we can't jump ahead.
No.
Maybe if the ending didn't go the way it went, some of them ships like missed what it was aiming for, and then that's the whole new show.
Yeah,
Anders all hooked up to that machine, and
as long as they don't sully the original gangster and they don't sully Ronald D. Moore, and they come out with compelling and powerful characters, great story. I mean, these people, they got some big shoes to fill. Believe me, I don't think that this is going anywhere. I think they're running towards a cliff, but I'm still going to keep an open mind. I just don't think you can redo this.
Wish they bring me in. I could easily make a great epic out of what was left on the colonies. There were still people left on the colonies. You could build from there.
Whiskey Supremacy made an awesome comment, man. Hold up, I gotta.
What do we got?
Okay. If they do another one and don't put a tag in it, I'm fucking done.
That's true, Wook.
You know why I was late? I'll be honest. I'm not even gonna lie. Because I watched. Oh no, I watched the episodes for tonight, and then kept watching.
We're only doing part one. We're only doing part
Man, we should do them both.
No, here's why. Well, some of us have obligations tonight, Steven. You okay?
Yep. Yeah, you all right?
I'm good.
You want a hug?
All right. Now,
I believe he just has a problem with his friend Bogart. I don't believe he's actually in any harm's way.
All right, so we'll get to Toxic Man Flu's boxy theory numbers 16754. Depressed because he was reduced to being an adapter between Daggett's binary interface with Starbucks non-binary interface. Boxy drank so much he woke up next to R2D2.
Oh boy.
At least there's some kind of interface going on there.
Oh, man.
He's doing it Daggett style.
Oh, man.
Daggett style.
The tag team is back. Toxic Man Flu followed up by Parenthood.
I would do that story justice. I guarantee I would. I'm working.
No more coffee enema talk. That is.
Oh man, we are off to a rousing start. So yeah. Anyway, folks,
that coffee could rouse you for sure.
To put that
Steven, are you all right, bud?
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
To put that story in our rearview mirror, though, we are keeping an eye on the new BSG project, and as soon as there's more any Battlestar news,
we got to cover that if
it ever comes out. Have it covered. Oh, we will. We're going to review it,
folks, for the potential suck. The potential for suck is large. It's huge. We could put numbers on it.
It's got girth.
Give it a chance, but the potential suck is on the way.
Man, you're scared, Raquel. Are you scared of the series?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
I think that Ronald D. Moore did the impossible. He pleased us. Original gangster fans, we didn't get what we wanted, but he said, you know what, I can't give you what you want, but I'm going to give you something reimagined. It's going to be beautiful, it's going to be sexy, it's going to be intelligent, it's going to be well written. And then somebody comes along and says, wow, this is the generation of Cud. People here, they chew a meal, they throw it up, they chew it again, they throw it up, they chew it again, they throw it up. Nothing is new. We have to keep on regurgitating and chewing this cud like we're camels or cows. And it's gross, and I'm done with it, and I don't want to do it anymore. Make something new. Stop making our stuff.
Oh, yeah, right.
No.
Well,
make it new.
Well, Raquel, you probably don't want to know this then. This takes place in the same universe as the BSG.
I'm telling you, I could do it.
We don't know that for sure.
Wait! You interrupted culture. I didn't hear what he fully said. Sweetheart, say that again.
Okay, Sam Ismail has actually confirmed it's not a restart. It's taking place in the same universe as Ron Moore's series.
No.
Well. We haven't heard anything on that lately. Like the last story that I did before John did this recent rumor that we got a hold of. The last story that I did, the new showrunner that they got for it, the guy that's writing and being the showrunner, Michael Leslie said it's probably going to be its own thing. So I don't think they have an idea right now, culture. You know, I know Esmail talked more about that potential of, having a continuity there, but I don't think that's necessarily going to happen now.
Okay, so potential for suck meter on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to say 9.2. Author Stephen Walton, potential suck on the 1 to 10 scale, with 10 being the largest amount of suck.
All right. Hello, CJ, and hello, Kai. Great to see you guys.
I'm gonna give it Hoover quality of suck. How about that? Can I use vacuum references? or maybe what's stronger than a Hoover?
Kirby. We go back to girth.
It's a Kirby kind of suck.
Dyson,
Dyson. Yeah, digital suck. No, look.
Congrats, CJ.
Look, I'm gonna. Wow, good job, CJ.
I didn't read that. I'm sorry.
CJ is at 732 subs.
He's knocking it up, man. Knocking it up.
Come on, CJ.
Yeah. Rewinding. Okay.
Sorry, man.
So I think it's all right. It's gonna be. Look, it's gonna be in the same universe that Ron Moore's was. It's going to be within the same mythology. Okay, so just put your arms around that idea because that's not okay. Don't. But that's what Sam said. So just be prepared. That's all I have to tell everybody. And
all right, but you know what? There's a big religious thing about this show culture. So what if the god in this universe was Janus, and then in this universe, the humans are the bad guys hunting down the Cylons?
Even sweetheart,
who are the good guys and who are the bad? Wait a minute. Time out though. So, no, because there were no good guys or bad guys in this show.
In the beginning, it was shown to be that way.
Sure, but
you're right. By the end, it was much more convoluted than that.
Yeah. So it's the thing. I mean, essentially, they were demonizing a deification of the humanity. So because humanity was the creators of the Cylon. They essentially were demonizing their deities, their creators.
Well, as a communications and technology scholar, I actually see this entire work, this entire text by Ronald D. Moore as a remake of the original first ever science fiction, which is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Oh, Frankenstein, absolutely. Yeah, I can see that too.
But the modern Prometheus. This is the modern Prometheus.
Sure.
And you guys very rudely jumped over parrot heads marquee. Could we please get that back up? 7:51 p.m.
Jerks.
Please
Oh,
read
yeah, no.
that.
It's a porn star level of suck.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
probably true. You know, but if it,
Good, so good.
yeah, but if it's Kinsey Taylor, that's okay. Anyway, we should probably get on with the episode.
All right. Yes, because we are moving in on the 30-minute mark already. Wow. We had some strong feelings about that. Raquel had an epic rant. My God, the watchbacks and playbacks on this episode, guys, is going to be amazing because Raquel can rant with the best of them. Man,
Yeah.
I love this lady.
She's already fired up.
Yeah,
I came in and she was just going on for 10 minutes about fuck, and I'm like, what are we talking about?
I love
She's pissed
this.
off tonight.
It was
I love
great.
I love this woman. I love this woman.
They're
But,
messing with our BSG. They're messing with our BSG.
Ah,
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
It made you quite upset.
Yeah.
It does. It makes me very upset. You should have seen me when Discovery first came out. I almost
Oh,
had
dude.
a coronary.
STD.
Culture-
STD.
Culture's hair is frayed a little.
No, well, I managed to eat my entire dinner while Raquel was talking. I didn't get to say a word for the first 10 minutes of the stream. Pretty amazing.
It's, just let her go.
I know,
yeah.
dude. It was gold. I was just okay. I'm gonna eat.
You'll
No.
learn words. You will learn terminology.
yeah.
Well, Star Trek is right now moribund. There's a word for you.
Yeah. Well, the thing,
And then he just shuts it off and goes to his avatar. Culture.
CJ said the only reason I never started watching Battlestar is because I just don't know where to start. And my answer to you, CJ, is listen, go to the miniseries and then start from there. The miniseries is what kicks it off. That's your jumping off point. And then you go to watching the regular series.
Oh, yeah, dude. 33 will change your life after the miniseries.
33 will change your life.
It will change your life.
Yeah.
Damn right. Look, CJ, go to, you're in Canada. I don't know if you can, but Peacock. Go to Peacock. I know it sounds funny. I know it has cock in the name, but go to Peacock and watch it. It's right. It's on there. I was watching it today. Couldn't stop. Started at the episode for tonight and couldn't stop. Got quarter of the way into season 3.
Well, speaking of Peacock, I got to use the bathroom, and I have to.
Whoa! What?
Yeah, so it's no longer a compound word. He's just made it 2 words. He has to pee with his.
Yeah, cock.
Right.
Okay.
So while Drew takes care of businesses,
Yeah, well,
I think
I need
Dude,
to
please,
also. I need to also get my.
You don't have a
do
bottle?
your stuff, dude.
You don't have a bottle?
To get mom situated. So if
You don't have a
guys-
neurotic bucket? Like you just let it go?
Steven.
Yeah.
Shush. So we're gonna let Drew do his business. We're gonna let Raquel read the opening segment that she always does with the recap of the previous episode.
That's right. Raquel here. She reads.
All right, you guys, we're gonna do scene 3. Scene 3, everyone, so the chat can participate. And tonight we're on Lay Down Your Burdens Part 1. This is Season 2.
I'm
episode
gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, and I ain't gonna fear war no more. I ain't gonna trouble war no more. I ain't gonna trouble war no more. I ain't gonna trouble war no more. Anyway, sorry.
Hell.
For all of those of you in the chat who wanted to get baptized, your baptismal song, you're now baptized. Steven's going to start speaking in tongues.
I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to keep it like PG tonight.
So,
but thank you for that opportunity.
Does this part just not grow back anymore now? Or did you spill wax there? What happened?
Sexy just drips off of me, and that's what happened.
Man, it looks like you don't want to know what it looks like. Anyway, sorry, Raquel, go ahead.
Your little triangular shaped head
I take exception to those comments because I actually don't think that you are too hard on the eyes, Stephen Walton.
Well, thank you.
I think you're a cutie patootie.
I think that's the way that Wes feels, and that's why he picks on me. I think he hasn't let it out yet. You know, he is one of our fairy gay fathers.
Wes? Who's Wes? Wes isn't on this stream.
Culture, god damn it.
Well, you all right, bro? You want a hug?
No, I'm not. I do that sometimes. I'm so terrible. I do that straight up sometimes, and I feel so bad. They look the same. Look like brothers. Y'all look like you got the same mom or something.
Or the same dad. Anyway, Raquel, let's do the synopsis. Holy cow.
These guys, I'm sorry, chat. These two men have completely hijacked this stream. Sorry. We shall begin now.
It wasn't me.
We come upon the chief. He's doing the funky chicken in his sleep on the hangar deck. It's an extremely short scene. And then we cut to a desk filled with Gaius Baltar's election materials. Gaius is sucking on a cigarette while Six looks on silently. Gaius ejects contemplatively, I am going to lose. We cut to the president reciting her speech material, tearing up the cards as she memorizes them. She's interrupted by her assistant, Tori Foster. Tori tells her that she only has 1 minute left. We cut to Kara Thrace Starbuck leading a briefing of the pilots. It's an upcoming mission called 2 Alpha or Alpha 2. They say it both ways. It's so dangerous and risky that it's by volunteer only. We cut back to Gaius 6. She tells Gaius that if he has faith in the Cylon god, everything will turn out as it should, and he'll win the election. Gaius bemoans his public humiliation and discounts Six's assurances. He boldly claims that he is tired of her song and dance. Any comments?
Man, I was so happy when Tori came into the show. Sexy, brown-skinned sister. She's gorgeous.
Does she get your motor running?
Dude,
Hit out on
like
the
they kept adding sexy to this show. Pardon me for being base for a moment, but they did. They kept acting and sexy in many ranges, from intellect, good looks, just sexy. So she was a great character addition. I know that she was in a few episodes back, but now is when she really becomes a part of the series.
I didn't like her. I did not like her. I don't like duplicitous people, which means she did a good job as an actress. So, but as a character, I did not find her attractive, Stephen. Now, you may only look skin deep, and I understand that about you.
No. I want someone that will talk bad to me, like down.
Right.
A little bit, you know.
So, yeah, you will only look skin deep. You're into superficial interactions, and that's fine. But I did not like that woman.
You didn't like her?
No. And we just derailed this again, and that's all your fault because you have to.
Listen, I'm talking about the show.
No. You were talking about your anatomy being interested in this show.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming tonight. So nice.
What's up, comics?
Comics, don't listen to this fool.
No, listen to this fool. I know what I'm talking about. You just said I'm apologizing for being base. Well, no, dude, come on. Seriously? You know what? Let Raquel finish. I'm gonna. You know what?
She asked me for a comment.
You know, yeah. You need a haircut. What the heck, man?
You were talking. You got a head. You got a head like a Dorito, and you're gonna talk shit. Go ahead.
All right. So we cut back to Rosalind. She's still tearing up those cards, and Adama walks in and hands her a drink. She explains that she memorizes her talking points and then tears them up in superstition. Adama tells her that his father used to break pencils before court. Rosalind breaks her pencil, but then she worries that she won't have one for the debate. They share a nervous laugh. Tori breaks in on them and tells Rosalind, it's time. We cut back to Gata debriefing the staff on the 2 Alpha mission or Alpha 2 mission. Gata, with Starbuck by his side, has Sharon ushered in. It's Galactica's way of interfacing with the Cylon tech to chart back to Caprica in 10 jumps. The pilots break out into an unfavorable din. Of course, they don't trust Sharon. Kara assures them that Sharon is there to help, and she's going to plot the navigational markers and jump coordinates. Kara asks who has a problem with that. The pilots fall silent. Sharon looks nervous. Any comments, gentlemen?
This episode should have been called "How to Fuck Up Trust." That's all I'm going to say until later.
Oh, wow. That is a really, really intelligent thing to say. That
Wow,
is,
I thought that was pretty base.
it is a resounding theme through this. And
It is.
and I didn't even notice it until you said it, but right from the get-go.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I just, right from the get-go, you start to see that,
Well,
that this is about how you really screw up trust and anybody who has any faith in you.
yeah, and it's well, usually, I mean, these shows are so well written that themes are interwoven. You know, like the lessons are interwoven within these different characters, and that's one of the things I really appreciate about it, and that I notice. It sticks out to me anyway.
Yeah. Culture, do you have any comments?
Culture went to go pee. I'll guarantee you his little ass bladder.
Steven needs
Little ass 50-year-old man bladder. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I like the blinking.
Steven.
Come on, go ahead.
You need a haircut. You can't carry off long hair, my friend.
You calling me a hippie?
No, I'm calling you get a haircut.
No, it's in that weird in-between phase. I look like
okay.
Mo Howard. I don't like it at all.
Oh, actually, you know what? You would look better if you just shaved your chin piece off and you just had the weird
no, that doesn't look
chop
right.
strap.
I don't think that looks right.
Okay, well, right now doesn't look right either. So, but no, my only thoughts about this is the scene that I enjoyed was the interaction between Adama and Rosalind, where it would be that tearing up the cards and the snapping the pencils. Because whenever I went into a debate, I had rituals that I would do. So
you were in speech and debate also.
Yeah.
We were nerds together in school. I love you, Culture.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I love to argue. My mom's like, you should be an attorney. I was like, I don't know, but no, it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed that a lot. But whenever, and again, I learned a great deal by listening to the people who told me how to do debate properly, which is to understand the other side so well that you can argue for them.
Yes.
So that you can in turn turn around and argue against them, because there's always counterpoints, and you can always find the hole in another's arguments by simply understanding their arguments.
Right.
So, but those little rituals, and you know this, Raquel, those little rituals, they get you set in the right frame of mind to perform. Because debates more is equal to a performance, just like acting or any. To do it well, you have to convey a thought in a very concise way using very plain language to do it well. If you try to use flowery words and show off your intellect,
sorry.
Do you ever stay quiet?
I did for like 5 minutes. That reminded me of Mr. Hanky from the Christmas special. So flowery. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, so if you use flowery words, you will not be able to convey your point effectively to the majority of your audience. Because even now, and as Raquel probably knows this as a tech scholar and author, communications major, professor, any number of things that she's been over the course of her career, that you have to provide information at a 4th or 5th grade level, because that's where most people's intellect actually live. So anyway, there you are.
What?
All right. So we cut to Gaius and Six. She tells him he was chosen by the Almighty God. Gaius becomes violent and grabs her arm as she strokes him. Gaius wants to know about how the baby happened. And we're talking, of course, about the toaster tot. Thinking the baby is dead, Gaius questions the Cylon god's accuracy in prophecy. Six warns him not to be blasphemous. She tussles his hair seductively, but actually winds up slamming his face into the desk. She evaporates as Tom Zarek walks in and asks him if he's ready. Gaius ungracefully raises his head and claims that he was napping. Any thoughts?
Lots. Most of which I can't say on this live stream.
Why? It hasn't stopped you before.
No, I censored myself.
When?
No.
When?
A lot. Quite often, actually.
Well, let's
convey more words.
Well,
no, I'm sorry, Raquel. What I wanted to say was that I love your use of words.
Oh
my God.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. When I first came to this stream, I remember we used to talk about it, and people would come into the chat and they would say, "It's been so long since I watched this episode. I don't know where you guys are at. What part is this?" And they would say, "Oh, did that really happen? I don't remember it." So I started putting together these summaries so that we would all be able to have touchstones, and we could recall what's going on, so that the whole community could come together to really review these things. So,
Yeah,
Stephen, it actually means
you
a
do
lot
it well.
to me that you say that, because it takes me about 3 hours to do these summaries.
I believe it.
I love
And
you very
they're
much.
well
Thank you.
Well,
Okay, so let's keep going, guys. So we
wait,
cut to
I
Kelly.
like the teacher too, Stephen. God.
I love you too, Cece. Okay, so we cut to Callie on the deserted hangar deck. She's calling out to the chief in the dark. Now, this is a very short scene. SD would point out, if he were here, that, of course, this is to heighten our fear and our anxiety. So hyper short scene. Then we cut to Kara lambasting the pilots for shirking their duty to those who they have left behind. She tells them Sharon is a means to an end. She asks them to speak now or forever hold their peace. Hilo calls them to rise when Lee walks into the meeting. We cut to Adama escorting the president on his arm rather gentlemanly and romantically to her debate. She still has the giggles as the team of MPs lead them through the corridors. Tori looks pissed right off and says, "Great," because, of course, Rosalind can't compose herself. And Rosalind returns this by just letting out a hysterical and very loud guffaw. Any comments here, gentlemen?
No, you know what I did find funny is that with all the things going on in the U.S. right now, that these episodes were about an election.
Yeah.
So a lot of interesting parallels. No, I'm good. I think that Rosalind made me laugh when she was just going through her emotions between there and going to the debate, the first debate, just all the little ritual that she would do. I thought that was actually kind of cute. And seeing seeing the Admiral being so supportive of her and how close they've become over the course of, how many months has it been? 8 months?
Yeah.
Since they've been running?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not playing like low grade porn music right now.
No, not at all. This is a beautiful relationship between adults who are middle aged, and
Yeah,
certainly.
I love that part of this show. That Rosalind can be sexy and Adama can be sexy, and they can have these romantic interludes, these romantic exchanges,
right.
And they are sometimes they're very juvenile, but they're also incredibly dignified.
Yes,
it's wonderful to see that kind of romance, because, of course, I'm much closer to 50 than I am to 40. Much closer to 50.
I bet you I'm closer.
So I'm a younger man.
So, but it's really nice because, in usually in a sexy show like this, we would only see Starbuck, having this hot and heavy sex with these really good-looking guys, and these really good-looking guys having sex with these young women. But in this show, we get this wonderful, beautiful romance that we respect and we don't mind watching. You don't feel icky like, "Mom, Dad, stop that."
Yeah, no, that's because it's built on wisdom. It's not passion. It's not physical passion. It's something much higher. It's something that I think. Yeah, no, I think it's something that a lot of people should aspire to, and many do, which is just as you grow throughout life to actually learn and grow and become wise people who have been hardened by the different things that you've gone through in your life. Both of these characters show this. Their love for one another, the playfulness, and the entire romance itself is built on just people who have traveled down hard roads and are in difficult positions, having to maintain their integrity while flirting, knowing that in and of itself, that romance could be dangerous to the politics of the fleet. Given the severity of the situation, they have to remain static in that position almost, but still, I love the development of those characters. I love the actors that portrayed that. if I were single at that, if I were single in about 10 years, I would hope I'd find something just like that, because it would be, I think, more impactful and more sexy than any hot relationship I had in my 20s.
You're not
And
single?
the intellectual relationship is quite dangerous, because imagine if you were in this society and your president, the person who's in charge of of the last remnant, the last vestige of humanity, is having this deeply passionate and sexual relationship with the person who's in charge of the military. And of course, we've heard this before from the former citizens of all the colonies saying, the military, it's so easy for the military to take over. And essentially, we are people, we believe in democracy. We're not going to be governed by the military. And yet behind closed doors, we have this very, very seductive relationship going on betwixt the elected official and the military. So I think it's kind of, it's very saucy for a writer to do something like that. Don't you think it's very, it's very sassy?
Good word.
Yes, it's very nerdy, and I think it was definitely done on purpose, and I just love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, me too.
CC?
I love it, but I was really hoping Steven would go down the immature road that he always does, but he didn't, so I had to interject some immaturity there. But no, honestly, though, I actually benefit from a similar relationship. The boss and I are older. In less than 30 hours, I will be 50, Raquel.
Oh,
and, shit! Happy birthday!
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
birthday,
So
CC.
yeah. So yeah, about 30 hours from now. But it is going to be. I don't think we've ever been closer than we are at my age now.
Oh, wow, what a beautiful thing to say.
And so, right now I'm safe to say it, because right now she's watching Lorena Creel's Queen's Council birthday stream thing going on. So, but it's a true joy. And so when I was watching this in real time, I was appreciating that relationship, because I saw my parents, both sets of my folks. They both found somebody after they had me. They decided to go find other people. But those other people make them very, very happy, and they are fulfilled in many other ways that don't require the porn music that Steven's probably hearing in his head right now.
Yeah, the bounce. Wow.
Exactly, Raquel. Yeah. Yes, and
I love Toxic Man Flu's comment. There's a difference between love and sex. I wish we could marquee that. TMF, what a great thing to say. Yeah, when you get older, you realize that you need both. Sometimes you have to make love, and sometimes you have to have sex, and sometimes you got to do the F word. And if it's all with one person, then you're pretty darn lucky. And I'm happily married to somebody who I've known since he was 18 years old. And TMF, yeah, baby.
Beautiful, man.
That's the bell ringing right there. You know it, and that's and so that relationship absolutely was not dirty in any way. And I understand where you might think that it was a little bit risky for the writer to write that, controversial maybe.
Yes.
To me, it is.
Colonists.
It's not. It's really not. Because they both. Here's the problem. Looking forward. They're both able to do their job regardless of the relationship that's involved. There's only about 5 episodes that I can think of where that isn't true.
Okay, let me put it to you this way.
No.
What if the president of the United States was banging the head of the military?
Yeah, it's very, very dangerous.
They're both adult dudes. They can do whatever they want.
Look, that's compromising the integrity of both of those.
How?
Of the office
of the government
and the military.
Yes.
No, you're not. No. Okay, yes. So what you're saying is you cannot this by the way,
you can bang a lieutenant. I mean, like, why don't you just pick one of the pilots? Why don't you just pick one of the aides, the president's aides, just
because you can't fraternize with somebody of a lower rank.
No. So, one of the civilians is working for the president,
Well, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go to the Lord of the Flies. So think more of the Lord of the Flies, because we're actually not talking about a civilization that has boundaries that we can count on. We actually have a remnant of civilization.
Are you talking about the United States right now?
No.
No.
That is a remnant that, and of course, these are the last vestiges of humanity. If these people don't survive, humanity dies. And so, yeah, I think it's very, very risky. Stephen, I agree with you. I think it's terrifying. If we were all on an island together and there were only 1,000 of us left, and the person who was in charge of the military was also romancing our president, it would be quite dangerous, because at any time the president can use the military for force in a way that those two entities should be separate. So that
they are. But Raquel, those entities are separate. Okay.
No, sometimes one entity is inside of the other entity for a prolonged period of time. Yeah.
All about connections, culture.
No. Here's look, the civilian is always in charge. The civilian is always in charge.
If your Cthulhu puts its tentacle in another Cthulhu, you could make baby Cthulhus.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem with any more Cthulhus. I guess my point is it's not helpful.
I'm just
this
trying
is a Battlestar Galactica show, guys.
Wow. Okay. I'm all into the flying spaghetti monster thing. I don't know about multiple Cthulhus at this point.
Would that be interspecies?
Yeah.
Let's rewind. So anyway, look. The civilians are always in charge of the military. The president's always the leader of the military. So regardless of the relationship, that doesn't the dynamic doesn't change. So I am an adult. I believe everybody should be able to act as an adult. And therefore, and again, this obviously feeds into my political stance, which does not agree with either party right now, or probably never has in my lifetime.
But stay in the text.
Okay, so I'll stay with
episodes. We had the military performing a 100% coup d'état, and the colonies flipped the F out because Adama just decided to usurp the power of the president and put her in jail. Why? Because he was so close with her that he knew stuff that she was doing. It's very risky for the military and a president to be crossing tentacles.
And if they were banging, or when
yes.
the end of this episode happens, he wouldn't have done what he did.
I don't know if that's true.
I totally believe it.
No. Because think about the fact that he think about. Well, doesn't matter. I'm not going to feed into the future episodes. I'm not feeding into the future episodes because
don't spoil it.
Okay, so
keep going, guys.
So we can keep going. We can disagree on this in part as friends. And
you know what? I totally respect your opinion, but at the same time, it's just like if the president said something to Adama and Adama didn't like it, he could throw her hiney back in jail and do another coup d'etat. And so maybe it's not good for her to be showing him her naughty bits.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite words or phrases. Coup d'etat. Yeah, I love that. It's a nice French phrase.
It is taken over by it's when the government is taken over by the military, right? Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so we cut back to Lee at the mission briefing. He's a pep talker here. He's in fluffer mode. It's a rousing battle cry done to a soundtrack that beats the drums of war. He's pleading for heroes. He asks Gaeta to turn on the presidential debate. Kara goes over to Sharon, shackled and in shock. Her face, she's completely white. Kara asks if Sharon is okay. It's a weird moment, an empty and insincere gesture. Sharon asks if she can go, of course, because her baby has just been barbecued and jettisoned, or so she thinks. Toaster tot, burnt toast, ejected into space.
So pissed.
Kilo follows after Sharon while the pilots huddle around the broadcast. Thoughts, gentlemen?
I do not blame Sharon for feeling the way that she feels. Because I mean, she knows something. I think she knows something's wrong instinctively, and there's even if it isn't what she thinks, like they did in a sense, like kill her baby and take that bond away from her. So I understand the depth of her anger. That's about it. I like her story arc in this season.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to put your arms around the idea that that she lost a child, and for as much of their id is programming, I mean, she obviously had a strong response to that, and a very human one. And so I can absolutely respect where she's coming from, and get and be okay with that. So, and yeah.
Oh,
shut up.
That was from his heart, Raquel. That was him pouring it out a little. That
Shut
was
up,
nice.
Steven.
That was beautiful. No, that was beautiful. Thank you, Culture.
So we cut back to the deserted hangar. Callie is still calling out to the chief in the dark. She rounds a corner, and we cut to the debate without any reveal. An announcer is calling a play-by-play of the debate room as though it were a sporting event. Rosalind tells Gaius she's going to wipe the floor with him. Then we cut to Hilo, walking down the corridor, comforting and consoling Sharon. She's despondent and unresponsive. Hilo pleads with her. Sharon reveals she has a premonition that something dark is closing in on them. Hilo asks if it's about the mission. Sharon assures him it isn't the mission to Caprica. She says a dark time is nearly upon them. Any thoughts?
No, we should probably keep going. We bullshit
Okay.
a lot.
We cut to Callie, who discovers the chief writhing on the floor. He gets up and starts mercilessly, brutally beating Callie, nearly to death. He stops and gets off of her. He appears astonished by his own actions. Callie is in and out of consciousness. She's been beaten to a pulp. He finally attends to her, picking up her lifeless body and screaming for help. He's frantic. Any thoughts here?
Yes, that's scary as hell. I've known people with PTSD from wartime that you couldn't wake up like that, and because they would tell you that's the kind of reaction you might get. Kick my shoe. Kick. You know what I mean? Slap my foot. Don't wake me up. That. And because his reaction was just so intense. I mean, he was a beast to poor Callie.
But for a very good reason.
A good reason? I mean,
well, think about where his mind is when he's in that state. He is without possession of his faculties when he's roused, and he's in the midst of that. You just said it, that PTSD episode.
Right.
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, he might still be responsible for his actions, certainly, and obviously he takes accounting of those.
Yes,
immediately after gaining possession of his faculties. But I just I look at it and I think I can understand that, because it does happen, but at the same time, it's a terrible thing, and then he's got to deal with the guilt of that going forward. For and not just in the moment, because in the moment that's plenty. It rests heavy upon him, but. And obviously, Callie is, already indicated she's very interested in the chief's well-being. So this is a weird place to be, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd just like to because we can't marquee. I would just like to say that the chat is blowing up. I love you guys. You're hysterical. Yes, I call all Cylon babies toaster tots. I'm glad that you like that. I also would like to point you to TMF. My partner in crime, who I love very much. Please look at his comment at 8:24 p.m. If they did throw the Cylon child out the airlock, would they be a toaster pop tot? And of course, we would not speak this way about a living child. robots. It's a robot, so it's AI. Anyways, TMF, I love you. Comics Division, you're hysterical. Roof Korean, Wookiee Supremacy. You guys are great. No, Wookiee Supremacy, Supreme Heretic has not crashed out. He's fine. It's that his mother has fallen quite ill. She has dementia, and it's quite serious. And Drew is an incredibly good son. And so, our parents raise us. And then sometimes when our parents get very aged, we have to start caring for them. And Drew is in that position right now. And he's a hell of a good son. And he loves his mom very much. So he loves doing this stream. So he's just asked us to take it away until he returns. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so shall we return?
Yes, please.
So where were we?
Callie and the chief.
Yeah, so now we're believe it or not, folks, that was the big buildup. This is another one. This is a writer's room, so we're going to speak very frankly about this. This is nearly 15 minutes into the show. That was all scene 3. So you can see this massive buildup for a two-parter, how they took their time to bring us up to speed and pull on our emotional strings and intellectual strings so we can be engrossed in this two-parter. So here we cut to scene 5. We come upon a scene that looks like an interrogation. It's an aerial shot of a dark room. The chief is meeting with a religious counselor. Chief wanted a priest over a shrink. It's Dean Stockwell from Quantum Leap, Stargate SG-1, Colonel Grat from Enterprise, Twilight Zone, the host of Popular Science. He was in Langoliers. So basically, science fiction royalty walks in the room. He's a rough and tumble priest. There is no comfort here. He admonishes the chief for looking to the gods when the chief is the one who screwed himself up, and that he needs help. The entire exchange is a lot of tough love, and it's hysterical. Any comments here, guys, on a shrink or God? Who you going to when you have problems? A shrink or a God?
Do I have to make that choice?
No, you don't. I'm an agnostic, so I'm not going to make anyone make that
That's
choice.
Well, interestingly enough, you can go to both. You can reach to one for faith and support, from a spiritual sense, and then to get your mind right, you can speak to the shrink. I think both have their place in humanity. Mm-hmm. Agnostic or not, agnostic meaning you don't know either way, which is fine.
Oh, no, it's not that I don't know either way. It's that I ascribe to Aristotle's theory of our existence, which is, of course, that I cannot know what cannot be known.
Right. Yeah, and that's the position we're all in. So you can either elect to have some form of faith or not, and be agnostic. That's fine. Thank
you for your permission. That's
wonderful. Stop it. That's not what I meant.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Got to give him a little banter, otherwise it won't be interesting.
Got to beat him just a little.
It's fine. Anyway, so no, I think both. I think you need both. I think we are spiritual beings, whether or not we elect to be to practice anything or not. Yeah. So there's an element of wonder. Somebody of pure science will happily tell you that there isn't, and yet they still can't explain all the mysteries of the universe. And so therefore, I think Pascal's wager is the best one to take.
There are 3 levels to people in the way that I see it: your physical, your mental, and your spiritual. So, going to a psychiatrist is trying to fix something with the mind, something that's separate from the spirit or the soul, which is instinctive, and I think is something that moves between people as they pass on. So going to a spiritualist about matters of direction of your soul, and that is one thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas trying to fix your experiences in this body, in this life, that have trained you or you have allowed to damage you in some way, is entirely different. Yeah. So both have their uses depending on what your problem is.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. I have great hair. You have a problem.
Yeah, I'm beautifully.
Oh, hey, bro.
I'm back.
Welcome, Loki. You guys, Loki's Morning Mischief.
Hey,
Loki.
Stone Loki.
Oh, God, so many great channels, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Back.
I'm sorry.
Bearded dragons. Tonight I have 2 bearded dragons, and I need some wrangling. Take out your bit.
What did he do?
I apologize. No, I went up there and Mom, it looked like she was napping, and I had a lot of problems like rousing her awake, and then she seemed to be kind of like not there, kind of foggy, and then she was okay. It took a while though, and I had to make sure that she took the night meds and everything, and got changed into her bedclothes. But yeah, it's boy. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's okay, honey. It's okay,
brother. You got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, man, you're good.
I didn't mean to be away though.
No, you're fine.
No, you're fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are you? Yeah, Raquel just went straight forward, took all the bluster that Steve and I could muster.
Like we were her simps. It was
yeah,
beautiful.
we were being punished. It was great. You should watch it.
Did she put on the dominatrix costume?
No, but no, actually,
if I missed that, I'm gonna be mad.
No, I did not. I do have the Iron Man outfit, but I will not. I'm not going to debut it here. However, these gentlemen went completely FM radio on me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We were all taking one another, and it was terrific. It blew up the chat.
Can we get a fundraiser for a camera for Raquel?
Please.
I just need an address. I'll send her one. The boss will approve of that. That would be good.
You can give dick pics over the phone, man. It's not that hard.
Oh,
no.
Oh no, I didn't.
No.
I thought you said send it. Oh
no, camera. Oh my. You know what, Steven? You need help. You should see somebody, dude. You're thinking with the peen all the time. I don't know what's up.
What?
The peen. This is a Gen X broadcast. Peen in a second.
Culture. I will have you know that mine is a divining rod, and it always leads me in a positive direction.
Hey, man, at least you're finding your way to water. That's all I got to say about that.
Parrot Head, we need you now, sweetheart. We were talking about the divine, and now he's talking about a divining rod. Fix something up there, Parrot Head. Get the hashtags rolling. TMF, baby, I'm counting on you. Get those hashtags rolling out on social media.
Gonna be a problem. So we made it about 20 minutes in now, Raquel. Is that right?
20 minutes out of 40. Let's keep going, folks. Yep. So we cut to Kara and Lee meeting before she leaves on a mission. It is awkward. Sexual tension is high, but Kara is preoccupied with the love she left behind on Caprica. Of course, Samuel Anders, right? Mm-hmm. Kara leaves, and this is obviously about Lee conveying that he loves her because, of course, he's afraid that she'll die on this mission. I mean, 10 jumps is a lot to backtrack on. So look at Steven's avatar, everyone.
Hey, welcome, Comics Division's in the chat. Hey, buddy.
Yes, he's been here for a while. Thank you so much for coming, Comics Division. So
you missed it,
guys. This is really messed up. Imagine being in love with a woman, and you know that she loves you too, and there's all this hot and heavy sexual tension, and it's really juicy and good and beautiful. But then she falls in love with Anders. So now we've got this love triangle building. Stephen, can you please read Parrot Head, the marquee?
Drew's rod is so big that when he drains it, it creates bodies of water. Hashtag beware the Joe.
Oh my God, I love this chat. I love you guys so much. You guys are great. So any thoughts on this one?
You know, the moments between Kara and Lee, you know, to me, stand out a lot because you're starting to see that they get to a point, but there's a line that they just can't cross,
Yes.
even if their feelings dictate otherwise. It's weird.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things where it's almost like they're trapped.
I'm sorry, I'm not
Wow.
I love you. TMF.
The stream has gone off the rails.
Yes.
Did you see his
My
comment?
job is done.
Look at his comment. It's so bad I can't even read it. It's so bad I can't read. I'm so sorry, Drew.
Go ahead.
no,
Cole.
read that.
Your turn, Culture.
Who am I reading?
Toxic Man Flu. Thank you.
Drew's penis is the man meat I shall not want. He leads us to the fertile delta of the fire crotch waving grain. Beware the Drew.
We've gone full on FM radio. We're gonna get banned off of FM radio. We're gonna wind up on Sirius FM. We're gonna
That'll
have
be all right. Howard got $1 billion for that deal, so sign me up.
that was a perfect reaction. Okay, so we cut to Tori Foster debriefing. Beefing. That's your fault, Tino.
Beefing. Beefing.
Debriefing. Tori
Man, this room smells a little odd all of a sudden.
What is a debeefing?
I don't know. Is that Beano? What is that exactly? Or is that when you actually remove yourself from Drew's divining rod? I don't know. I just need somebody give me information.
Oh my God! Tied it all together. The hashtags are gonna flow, folks. The hashtags are gonna flow. So we cut to Tori Foster debriefing the president on the post-debate reportage. Gaius is getting roasted. He is popular with the religious voters, evidently, right? Then we cut to Tom Zarek debriefing Gaius on the post-date reportage. So it's like we're seeing how both candidates are reacting. Zarek tells Gaius he must work to appeal very strongly to the religious voters. Gaius whines about being an apostate. Six appears and tells Gaius to listen to Zarek. Gaius mocks him. Any comments on this, or shall we keep going?
I'm still trying to figure out what debeefing is. Sorry.
You know, sometimes you have beef, and sometimes
you debeef.
And so for some lonely people, they ask, "Where's the beef?" It's just really all
No,
man.
are.
That's
You know?
roast
Well,
beef.
honestly, Toxic Man Flu, the way it goes is usually when they debeef from me, I go on the loudspeaker and give permission for everybody to disembark.
Somebody read this.
All aboard!
Voice, please. All
So,
right.
That's
Steve,
Steven's
take this one
turn.
away.
Steven's turn.
I gotta cough out this chronic. Okay. Drew fell over once and his member carved out Lake Michigan. Hashtag beware the Drew.
Drew has a super peen.
Oh my God, you guys, this is so bad. No, we're going Howard Stern. This entire show has turned into Howard Stern. Okay.
Oh man, Tox threw out another one.
Jesus.
Oh no.
This one's yours, Cece.
Drew got an erection while wearing tidy whities. It debriefed him. Hashtag beware the Drew.
My good God in heaven.
The debeefing, boy.
That's
Make you bow-legged.
that is a thing now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
Just be careful you don't put an eye out. All right. So we cut to the SAR squadron taking off. So the search and rescue squadron taking off. Kara calls Adama to the horn. He wishes her well. Sharon and Hilo discuss her participation in the SAR mission. Will her help be sincere since she blames them for the death of the toaster tot Messiah? Then Sharon plugs in. They jump. Racetrack and Skulls jump to nowhere. So it's actually really scary because Racetrack and Skulls don't jump with the SAR team. They jump away. Everyone else appears on point. They identify the issue immediately. They continue as they have a rule of 3. They don't turn back unless they lose 3 people. Any comments on that?
Raquel hates this baby. You call it Toaster Tot and Toaster Tot Messiah. Like, what is the hate that you have for this child?
I don't have a hate for this thing, and it's not. It's a Cylon, dude.
This thing.
That's the thing.
It's a Cylon. It's a toaster tot. Do you know
I'm just
what I mean?
asking.
It has more in common with a Roomba than a baby.
Man, culture. It's
Oh,
been a
look
while.
at the chat. Look at the chat. CC saying, "Look at the chat. Look at the chat."
Yeah, it's been a while, culture, since I made tater tots in the toaster, boy.
Culture, what the fuck is that avatar, bro?
Magical Girl Friendship Squad. I've not
We talked about that a couple weeks ago on Comics Division 2.
Terrible.
Drew once got an erection so fast, he gave himself a black eye and a concussion. Hashtag beware the Drew.
That's a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood.
This chat's
Right.
on fire. Fire.
On fire.
Oh
Make sure
my-
you say it Metallica way. Fire.
Where's a Dega? Oh my god, somebody find a Dega.
I don't know.
Oh god, yeah, Dig Outlaw would love this.
He's missing it. He's gonna hate himself. He's like, shit.
Yeah.
Of all
Okay.
the shows I missed, that one?
Okay,
Babies.
let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling.
Keep
All right.
rolling. Keep rolling. Okay, go ahead.
Love you. I love it when you do your little interludes of singing. It works for me because you're actually a pretty good singer. Okay,
Well, thank you.
we cut to the chief and the priest. The chief tries to lie his way through this session that he's having. The priest calls him out. He asks him to tell him about his dreams. We step into the chief's dream. In the dream, he throws himself spread eagle over the highest point in the hangar area. It's a reoccurring dream. The chief wants to kill himself. We cut to Racetrack and Skulls. They agree to head back to Battlestar Galactica, but pick up a planet and scan it. It's a habitable planet, and it has water. So Class M if you're a Star Trek person like me. Then we cut back to Galactica, debriefing the home team about the planet. Adama is beaming. Then we cut to Lee, sending out a team to survey the planet. Then we cut to the co-ed showers. Data and D discuss how the planet could be hidden from the Cylons, of course, because it's in a nebula. So we have a rapid succession of scenes here.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on them, gentlemen?
Yes, hail co-ed showers. Oh, it's God, with my future ex-wife in that scene. And also, I want to give a shout out to Dean Stockwell, whom I have loved since Quantum Leap.
Yes.
Love him.
That's
love
your future ex-wife?
He wasn't in the shower.
Oh.
He nailed him.
But I love seeing him on screen. I don't know. It's just something about him his presence that I really enjoy. And going forward, the characters I guess technically that he plays, I thoroughly enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Shout out, Dean. Love you, brother.
Yeah, he was great. Any other thoughts on what's going on here? We've got a planet. This is cray cray.
Well, the Class M planets are not as uncommon as you would think, according to our scientists now. The problem is the severity of the climate, and so I'm sure we will find out what's going on that particular planet shortly.
I think it was more about the nebula, though. I mean, that raised the.
Well, they're trying to cast the idea that it's similar to where they put Ragnar Anchorage. The same concept. There's a certain type of radiation that's emitted that can interfere with Dratus and also They
Although
can
there's
also.
no way that Dratus could ever exist because Dratus is just radar. But yeah.
Damn. All right, Raquel. Babies and Dratus. All right, we got it.
Wait a minute. You're saying Dratus is radar, Raquel?
Well, I think it's borrowed heavily from that. What do you think Dratus is? If you're a writer, what is Dratus? Explain it to me.
Dratus is better than STD sonar in space. I'm happy.
Sonar in space.
I think it's emitted. It's a
It'd be like sensors, right? Be like
It's essentially the ability to measure a level of emittance from a surface.
I will accept that answer. However,
well, that's why that. Well, no, the only reason
science.
Oh,
I know that's where I'm going. That's why there's a ship that's about to that we've talked about before that was able to not be on Dratus.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the stealth fighter.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You hear that in Raquel's academic?
I can't help it.
It's science fiction, okay? Science fiction.
As long as it stays science fiction, because there's a huge difference between science fiction and science fantasy. But I do like this idea to compare it to Star Trek. I accept that idea.
Well, I mean, there's a certain amount of emittance that would have to happen, which is why the Klingon. You know what? I'm not going to go there. We'll do this another time.
Hold on, this is nerd stuff.
This is nerd stuff. This is why we're here. Can unleash marquee roof?
Okay, so so let's equate it to the same reason that you can't see a stealth bird of prey under the sensor range of Star Trek, and it's the same concept. It's not. They didn't borrow too heavily. It's a stealth ship. It it was more than an optical stealth for those warbirds.
Right. Somehow the particles were absorbed or moved past.
Exactly.
But optical is ideal. Whenever you're looking for something, looking out the window is always possible.
Sure. Yeah, but even now the U.S. military can create an optical barrier that will let you see to the other side of whatever is behind whatever it is that you're looking at. Mm-hmm. So, we're already working. Well, we already have working tech that does that. So, again, I just, the question is, would you be able to bounce enough information on there? Yeah, I understand. Dratus is direction, range, and distance. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's a measurement of emittance. It doesn't necessarily have to be sound. That's all I'm trying to say.
I like Roof Korean's. Korean's answer. I accept that answer, and that will keep it science fiction, not science fantasy. Yes, direction, range, and distance. So what you are putting forward is that it would be a calculation of those, an amalgam. And I accept your answer. Good answer, Roof Korean. I will give you an A+.
Damn.
I don't get a grade. I don't get a grade because I was trying to describe how it would happen.
Nah, we're Thrall's culture.
Yeah, because all it is a measurement of energy. Energy returns at different rates. That's, you know what? I give up. I'm done. Bye.
All right. I got it bad. So bad. I'm hot for teacher.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I love you. Okay, so shall we continue, gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay, we cut to Gaius sniveling about the planet as though the discovery is a narcissistic injury to him. Six appears to tell him this is, quote unquote, home. Zarek cogitates a political wedge issue, the permanent settlement of this planet. Six agrees. Gaius and Zarek agree to shift Rosalind's positive appeal through the divisiveness of continuing to seek Earth or settling here in this nice, cozy place. Any thoughts here, gentlemen?
I love seeing Tom Zarek because that's my original Apollo. And he, like I say, he's not playing the same character. He's not playing his legacy character, which is fine. But him being a part of this show, it may not be one of the main cast, but he's about one of the best supporting members of that cast of character of people. And so I love seeing him. He's a bad guy. He plays it. He's not. I don't think that he's completely bad. I think he has motives, and I think his motives are good. I just think they also include his prosperity and his control.
Yeah, he's always
Yeah.
angling for himself.
Right. But and Baltar, Baltar, I don't know what is wrong with him. Like, he's this genius, but okay. Baltar is book smart. He is not street smart unless he's chasing the poontang. That's the only time he's street
And
smart.
for sure he has NPD. Like, the character was designed like it's like somebody went to Psychology Today or went to a psychology textbook and literally took like 9 out of the 10 traits for NPD and gave them to Gaius.
Really?
Like,
what is that?
Narcissistic personality disorder, because even the small deviation from the attention from him, and he literally throws a tantrum, and here they found a planet, but he's so blinded by his own ego and his own narcissistic rage that he's like, well, this stupid planet. Meanwhile, the last remnant of humanity is possibly found somewhere to stay and land for good.
Right. Look, when your split personality crazy bitch angel shows up and tells you something, just listen, guys. Just listen. She knows what she's talking about. Accept it. Accept the leash.
Yeah. That's the craziest concept, because of course, I'm always thinking whenever that we raise this issue, I'm always wondering about that. It is a consistently unanswered question for me in this writing, and I really love that. I actually love that Ronald D. Moore did that, because of course this harkens back to the Aristotle and talking about this daemon. Is the daemon the spirit, the consciousness? Is there a separate consciousness inside of your mind that's telling you to do good things or bad things, as it were? Or is it something exterior? Is it coming from the universe? So I think it's interesting to raise the 6th issue whenever we're contemplating Gaius's various mental health issues.
Yeah, no doubt. Well said.
Yeah. How about you, CC? You have any thoughts on this, sir?
He's peeing. I'll bet you he's peeing. It's got a small bladder.
Okay.
For an older man. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just Steven.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, baby. Well, you and I just love you. We're a great team. Let's keep going.
Let's go.
Okay, we cut to Tori and Rosalind discussing the issue about the suitability of the planet and everyone's cabin fever. The possibility that being in a nebula would hide them from the Cylons. They could stop running. Tori tells her this could turn the entire election around in favor of Gaius. So, I think so too. I think it's pretty scary that it could be flipped so easily, right?
And I also enjoy, even though it's a little bit unrelated. Well, it is. I mean, the things that are going on in the U.S. right now. I don't want to get into that, but this being, an election episode, was very relatable.
Yeah.
To the questions as to what people will go to, what links they will go to in order to secure electoral power.
Yeah, for sure. And it just amazes me that they turn it like this, that they spin it like this. It's rather diabolical, and it helps the viewer really,
absolutely.
Solidify just how diabolical and evil Gaius is.
Yes, absolutely. But I think it's also a reflection of, as most of this show tends to be, humanity, and that someone seeking power is willing to sacrifice the potentiality of the entire species in order to just gain control over that species. Yes,
what a beautiful thing to say.
I think
you're back.
Oh yeah, and we might actually be witnessing that somewhere in our own.
Well, that's why I was saying it was an odd reflection of what's going on right now.
Yeah, not even an odd one. It's almost a mirror image, exactly. But yeah, it's fine.
Welcome to Bounding into Comics. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Also, Makini90. Thank you for coming. And
Mackini. Straight up.
Is it Mackini?
Mankini.
You can call him whatever. You can
Mankini.
But he made this for me, Rick.
Oh yeah, I do.
And then we have Runner. Just Runner.
What's up? Well, he's used to be Runner Studios, and now he's just running. He ran past the studio.
Yeah, he was like, "Peace, I'm gone." No. Runner's getting ready to do like whenever he's not in school, Runner will be doing Cyberpunk 2077 streams like crazy, like a madman. So if you want to watch somebody play that game, that dude's gonna be doing it like whenever he's not doing school.
Badass.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Good kid.
Thank you for coming, John. We'll try not to embarrass Drew too much.
Yeah, I do want to.
I don't promise that.
I do want to say thank you again to John F. Trent for for putting out that awesome rumor story and everything earlier in the week, because obviously I had things going on and everything, but I really appreciate John getting that out there, because that was good. And John, if you watch this on the playback, we discussed that at length for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, we spent a long time talking about that article and the previous revelation that this show was going to be existing within Ron Moore's great work, which is a problem.
Yes, it is.
No, I mean, everybody's being so nice, but John, really, I came in about 10 minutes late, and Raquel just was arguing, just yelling about that for like 20 minutes.
I ate my entire dinner.
Alone,
yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Just listen to Raquel went off. Steven showed up, doing something, below the camera line for a while that I wasn't comfortable with, but Raquel was just pounding on this. It was fantastic. It was great. I got to eat dinner.
Did you say was really?
Well, you were doing I don't know what you were doing. You were making some noises. The hands were down here. Nobody could see anything.
Everyone in the chat, as you can see, we went Howard Stern tonight. This is less Pegasus Actual Podcast, Battlestar Galactica Writers Room, and it's a little more Howard Stern tonight. And I think it's because everyone just needs to escape and have a good laugh and a little locker room humor. And that's
and John makes a good point, and that echoes my sentiments earlier. I'm hoping it's just a rumor, but with modern Hollywood, who knows? And he's so spot on with that. And that's why, folks, we don't have a lack of material to write about, because whether it's Marvel, DC, the major movie studios, the major TV networks, man, they are just falling all over themselves and just giving us more fodder to write articles. And hey,
and it's
it's great for us, because it keeps the site doing well. But I'll be honest, the feeling that we have, I know, as a staff behind the scenes, as far as from me, John, Spencer, Don, we all hope that it changes, and hey, it's going to take some doing, and Lord knows with what's going on now,
we're going to do it.
If it goes a certain way, it may not change for a while, but this community as a whole is focused on getting that change to happen. So
and getting all of entertainment's de-beefed.
We won't exactly
de-beefing it.
We're gonna de-beef it, baby.
That's right.
I'm telling you, we're just crazy tonight. Look, CC's asking us to look over to the chat, please.
Is it my turn or your turn?
Oh, toxic man blue.
All right, let's continue, boys. So we cut to the chief and the priest. He's head shrinking him with tough love. The priest confronts him. Does the chief believe he's a Cylon? That the chief is suicidal because he's guilt-ridden, because he's a Cylon who has cheated and lied to all of these people who are human, whom he loves. And Chief looks so scared. He looks like he's pooped his pants. That's what I put in my notes. The chief fears he's another Sharon. I shot the sheriff. Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy.
Right, a little Eric Clapton. Okay, so they banter. The priest tells him to get back to work and to rely on his family. So imagine you have this extreme PTSD. You beat a woman within an inch of her life, and this tough love priest says, bunk up, camper, get back to work, suck it up.
Right.
And,
welcome to the patriarchy, bitch. Get back to work. Sometimes you gotta slap a bitch down. Just what are you, man up? Get back to work. That's what I got from it.
Oh God.
I got that it was terrible to send him with this crisis of conscience, and he's terrified that he's a Cylon. He's got raging, literally and figuratively, PTSD, and the priest is just like, get back to work, love your friends.
Is that like a raging divining rod? I'm just curious.
He's circling around. So thoughts, gentlemen? Any thoughts?
Priest is my hero. Sometimes you gotta beat a bitch. Move on.
Okay. Well, I do want to say there is a fascinating reference and flashback to there is a reference in flashback to these scenes. If you go out and get because I think that I'm pretty sure they don't have it on Peacock where you can watch that companion movie that goes with the show, The Plan. But if you can get your hands on it, find a place to watch Battlestar Galactica, The Plan, folks. You can see a lot of reference to this episode, the episode that we're going to do next, part 2 of the finale, where you see how Cavill put this whole thing together, and to me, I know when I first watched this, I had that feeling in my head, like a little bit like, okay, Cavill is he's messing with him. He's screwing with the Chief's head.
Of course he is. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like this, right? He went to a priest. Priest patted him on the ass to get back to work. If he had gone to a psychiatrist, he'd have been on some meds and just maybe had been turned in for kicking somebody's ass. This dude didn't even get put in lockup. What? Nobody was looking. The Admiral didn't say anything. Doc Connell didn't say anything. He didn't report this incident.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and here, as a writer, I sort of think they dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah.
I don't like the way that it ends, and we have 2 short scenes and then the end, and that'll show you like there's no resolution to this, and so I just think they sort of make it seem like PTSD is nothing, that mental illness is nothing, and that what happened to Callie, like anyway, I don't want to give out any spoilers, but yeah, I don't like it at all, Stephen. I think that this is one of the episodes where the writing is not so good.
And that's why I was being so joking about it earlier. Like it's ridiculous. Like I don't understand how in this show so many plot holes and so many bad decisions in the writing of that story.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And for this to be a season ender, it felt to me like there were significant issues with the plot as far as at least the first part of the finale. Now when you get into part 2, there's a little bit of resolution, but even then,
part 2 is good.
Yeah, you really only get the consistency in parts on this one, and I was a little bit let down by that.
Yeah, like Stephen said, he should have at least received blow dart level meds. If blow dart level meds, and spent some time extensively in a padded cell talking to a priest or whomever, then
Raquel, you lock him up right next to Sharon.
You put him in a K-hole? Is that what you're talking about?
No, what I'm saying is that this is a very serious issue. This is a violent assault, exactly the way that Stephen characterized it.
But here's the problem, Raquel. In this particular circumstance, you have 50,000 people left that represent the entire population of humanity.
So
you have no time out. Hey, you know what, Stephen? I wasn't done talking. Can you wait?
Oh God, no! I've been trying to get this comment in. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it was far more important what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Now you've maybe forgotten it.
Yeah.
Say it,
I
Stephen.
love the beards. God bless the beards, and I don't even believe in God. Beard called CC. Please.
Okay. No, it's just you only have one man that can do the work that needs to be done at this point. He's called Chief Tyrrell. Unfortunately, he's dealing with something that everybody in the military that's ever been in a traumatic experience is dealing with. Now, there are other underlying factors that we are not aware of as the audience as of yet. However, you know what? Get back to work. There are some times when even in the midst of your deepest depression, and I know this from personal experience, shit still has to get done. And I just cursed, by the way. And therefore, you have to do it. You have to do it. And sometimes unfortunately in this world, there are times when you have to suck it up when you are least capable of doing it. And this is one of those times. And essentially that's what Cavill, is saying. So there you are, Stephen. You can now speak freely. Yeah. Eat a bag of Cheetos.
You are dead wrong. You are dead wrong. If they break down the chain of command, if you excuse consequence, no matter who you are, then the entire society, the system is broken. Entire society is broken. If this is what they should have done, it would have made for a more interesting outcome. Was they should have put Chief in the detention area in a cage right next to Sheridan, where he can look at that mirror, and that's where him and that priest had the discussions.
Yes.
While he was put there at least to cool off.
Yes.
And to be looked at. So I mean, them just writing it like that, like, okay, he beat the crap out of Callie, right? And then brings her into the dock. What he's excused because he brought her to the dock. He's going to have to explain and report exactly what happened.
Yes.
For him to just voluntarily go, I'm just going to go see a priest. Let it go fly. What kind? Like that really does put off a bad.
Weak writing. It's weak writing. In the very least,
and it puts off a bad message for a relatively equal and progressive show that does it well.
It is a low note, and I will also say this. I come from a place and a time where if one man did that to a woman, there would be some men who would be pretty angry.
Right.
And Chief would be in danger
right.
for what he did, because some men would get together and they would go find Chief, and Chief would be lucky if Chief had a pulse at the end of it.
He would just be absent.
Your military breakdown, Stephen. You're totally right.
Right, but that just shows, okay, so if that's the case, then that tells me that if some man kicks a woman's ass like that to where she got to get her jaw shut, just because he's in a powerful position, everybody else is going to be like, that's cool.
Yeah,
I
don't. No, that is not what went down here, dude. And you don't think everybody on that ship knows that Tyrrell was in the midst of whatever it was going on?
We didn't see anybody come and talk to him. We didn't see anybody run to the.
No. And but Raquel's 100% right. If in my presence or under enough information that I felt confident that the male was in the wrong, I'd be up for some ass whipping of that dude, and he'd be lucky if he didn't have at least one broken limb and a bunch of teeth missing. I'm just telling you, there's a certain. I'm not saying anything to excuse the activity or the. No, dude. Look, you have X number of humanity that can do the job that the Chief does. X.
And we just excuse bad behavior.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Congress of the United States or the Senate in some cases? Have you seen what some judges have done? Have you seen?
Well, yeah, but we're talking about this show. We're talking about the intent.
Right, but we brought in the real world. Raquel was just brought in the real world, and so did you. And so I'm bringing in the real world.
No, we're not, because we're not talking politically. We're talking socially and how you write. And politics and social issues are two separate things, right? So what's
wait a minute
is if you're a writer and you're writing this, there should be some extreme tension. Somebody should walk up to Chief as he goes back to work and push him up against the wall and say, "Listen, mother fracker, you
Right.
start
You don't-
SHIT together because
Right.
you beat Callie. Nobody's going to put up with that crap, you mofo." And then we're done, and then it's believable. But Chief
Right.
just talking to the guy from Quantum Leap and then going back to work doesn't work. It's crap. Poop. It's
Right.
poop.
And then he shows up and he's like, "I'm sorry."
Here's the small problem
Yeah,
with what
well,
you said. That could have all been written down, Raquel. I'm sure you will acknowledge that it's quite possible there could have been a resolution in the script. But because of the limited time in which this television production has to occur, many things end up on the cutting room floor. So we don't know if there was a reaction scene. We
Then-
don't know an awful lot of things.
That was
So
a critical edit.
Yes,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's edited for the context of the person with the vision. Your problem isn't with anybody but the person that edited the episode. And if
We don't
that
know
happened,
We don't know that. We just know that there's a plot hole. See, we got to give this to Steven. It's a plot hole. And I
Plot
agree
hole.
with him. It's just a plot hole.
And it's got girth.
Like, a giant game of Monopoly. But you listen, I have Baltic Avenue and Park Place. And Steven, because people always argue over Monopoly.
I have the entire left hand of the board before you get to go. That's all I got to tell you. And I'm telling you, my point is more
Yeah,
accurate.
Monopoly
We cannot, if you're talking about being in a writer's room, which is what we do here,
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, we could write anything all day. We could make sense out of whether or not Dratus makes sense or not, or it was, radar in space, right?
Sonar.
Sonar, excuse me, sonar in space.
No, it was-
You're gonna make me mad, Steven. Shut up for 2 seconds. That's all. That and figure out how to freaking trim your beard because it's really bothering me.
3
But
seconds.
mostly, I have to be on another stream, so if you could shut up for just a second. We talk about being in a writer's room. The goal here is I don't know that was not written down somewhere. What I do know is it didn't end up in the episode. And whether or not the writers created the plot hole or the person that edited the episode created the plot hole, I will never know, unfortunately, because guess where I wasn't? I was in neither of those locations. I wasn't in the writer's room and I wasn't in the editing bay.
Yes.
So I don't know if that was written to begin with. It is quite possible that he got attacked by somebody wielding a spanner wrench. I don't know.
Possible that Boxy ran up and goosed him. Who knows what happened? It wasn't in the episode.
Steven, that's interesting. But whose fault is it?
No, Cece, all
I know, Raquel, I know, but it's fun to argue. Believe me, I'm more entertained by the argument than I am by the actual content.
All right, so let's keep going because we only have 9 minutes until Culture leaves. So here, we cut to Starbuck. They're at Caprica. They're missing another raptor. And then it's revealed that the other raptor that's missing actually jumped inside of a mountain. But the SAR team continues. This is really super scary.
Yes.
Think about this, but wow, imagine losing people like that. Then we cut to another presidential debate. Now over the planet and scriptures. Gaius goes off about respite from the chase, says Rosalind is a fear-mongerer. The debate ends on that note. Rosalind tells Gaius quietly to go frack himself. We cut to the post-debate radio reportage. Everyone is listening in. Then we cut to Caprica. The SAR team has landed. They are in a troop, walking in the forest. Sharon is leading them. She detects movement at 11 o'clock. Hilo calls out for Anders. They call back for Thrace. It's an emotional reunion. The resistance is but a fraction of what it once was. They are firebombed, pinned down in a clearing. Sharon looks extraordinarily shifty here, and then the end credits roll.
If I were a dude and I was into other dudes, Anders would be the dude.
I'm
Yeah,
totally
Jamie
gay for him.
Bamer is not my dude.
So
No.
Michael Trucco, he played a good part in the show.
Yeah, and
Other
he's
chick,
brilliant.
I get that.
He's brilliant in everything he's in. But yeah.
But But the thing is like, yeah, I thought
Have you seen that dude's abs? Oh my god!
I thought that was kind of cheesy when all of a sudden out of nowhere, like, oh, the mortars come down like it's apocalypse now. It's like, fuck, man,
I thought that was well done.
It was well done, and it looked cool, but it was just like, I agree with what Raquel said about Sharon looking kind of iffy there because of you didn't know if she was in on if she set him up or whatever. It's so much
Oh,
stuff.
wait, I think we're ahead a little bit though.
Yeah, Skippy.
Raquel,
how close are we?
Did we talk about the shelling? I don't think we did.
We're done, and Stephen was actually taking us in the right direction. So now they're pinned down in that clearing, and Drew is talking about what's happening when they're pinned down in that clearing, and that's actually how we end.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was the end of the episode.
Yeah.
See, I watched both of them and kept going.
It's the end of part 1. That's why.
Yep.
So,
okay, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, we'll get to part 2 next week because we can just sit here and it's like Steven said, we probably breeze through part 2 because a lot of us just kept going watching.
Good, dude. From this point forward,
go ahead. But yeah, the back half of the 2 episodes when you get into part 2,
when you debeef it,
is
more
much better.
It's so bad.
Much better.
More, yeah. So, when you get your beef out and you debeef it,
yeah. So it's much better. So with that said, make sure that
actually be more loose at that point, right, Stephen? The beefing was tight, the debeefing less so.
The debeefing, you're right. You're right.
All right. So make sure, folks, that you tune in next week because
rate it.
Lay Down Your Burdens Part 2 is going to be...
I want to lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I want to lay down my burdens down by the riverside, and I ain't gonna trouble war no more.
I want some toasted tater tots.
Oh, hey now.
With that cheese sauce.
Cheese sauce? What's that? That's like a pearl necklace? What are you talking about, Raquel?
Of all the people, we're the ones taking it to the south, and she just takes it. Bam!
It wasn't me.
She goes the deep south.
Wadada.
Oh, all right. So
she likes hanging out with us because she's got to probably be so uptight around everything she's doing professionally.
And then she gets to hang out with the loosest human beings on the planet.
That's true. I love you, Lady Mist. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Lady Mist is awesome.
A long time supporter of this show, and we love you and appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Lady Mist, as always, for modding and just keeping an eye on things and being a sweetheart. Yep. And for all that you do, because you're amazing. Ruth Korean, I kind of agree with you. Hilo gets slept on a lot. Tom O'Pennicott was good too. Man, what a cast they put together. They really did. I mean, they went and I think they casted for unknowns, and it wasn't a matter of hey, look, we blew all of our salary budget on Mary McDonnell and Eddie Olmos. No, I don't think it was that at all. I think it was the fact that we're going to identify talent. We're going to bring some raw talent in and let them take it to the next level. And they did.
This shows you what a great production can do. They brought actors that some of these virtual unknowns, some of these virtual unknowns, and you put them around seasoned actors, and everyone is taking this production seriously and trying to honor the legacy of this fandom and this story and these characters. This is what you get.
Yeah, it's funny, Ruth Korean, that you mentioned that because originally he was supposed to die, and then what happened was Tom Pennicott was one of the hardest workers that they had, and he wound up really making an impression on Ron Moore and David Icke, and man, they just kept him around and said,
I
"Hey,
know.
Yeah.
You know what I feel bad though, because his
No.
story arc in season 2, like season 1 is great, and then season 2, I feel like he's stuck in this mode, because of this
He
whole
had to be.
situation. Like
He
it limited the potential of the character.
Yeah, but he had to be because and then it's from season 3 onwards. I'm just gonna say and ruin it for everybody out there. His character gets way more.
Oh
better.
yeah,
no doubt.
More better, Raquel. Did you hear me? I'm not getting a lecture.
Please.
Get him, Raquel.
Terrible.
But
That's terrible. That's just terrible. That's just terrible.
terrible, triple."
All right. So unfortunately, I've got to check out here pretty quick. I got to go hang out with comics and yell about things that are making me sad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hold on. Let's let everybody do their outro. So real quick, I'll give it a score. I say this one was probably for part 1, probably a 7, and we'll probably have better score, at least in my estimation. I'm expecting for part 2. So all right. Make sure that you catch us next week. You catch all my stuff here on the channel, and I will let everybody else talk about their channels now. So.
I love Drew so much. Go ahead, Steven, because you're like, oh my god, I gotta talk.
No, it's just he wants to give a rating. He wants to give a closing.
Yeah, no, I thought he was ending it off the way it sounded. I know Drew. I've been streaming with him for a year.
I know. I thought the same thing.
Don't put me up on the big screen.
Dude, especially with that beard, man. Look at that. He slipped twice. I don't know what happened. Look at that thing.
I give this episode a 4. This shit really pissed me off.
Good God.
It really took down the entire tone of the episode. There were parts of it that I did like, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the next episode, which starts out a little strange, but I think ends up in a better place than this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Come check out my channel. I do crazy shit. Oh, I just put up chapter 1 of the audio book for anybody who's interested. To buy it. Anybody, because they were just talking about this Gamergate movie that might be happening from BuzzFeed, and they got the SJWs pissed off because
everybody's
literally Zoe Quinn and all the SJWs, the people who coined the term social justice warrior and wore it as a badge of pride, started all this rhetoric and entertainment, all of this divisiveness, got pissed because BuzzFeed wasn't going to give them money because they're the ones who made it famous by playing the victim. Those the Anita Sarkeesians and all them, the Brianna Woos, they played the victim. They had the third wave feminist victim, and they weren't going to make money from it. From BuzzFeed, who was also one of the 16 different websites that were responsible for the death of the gamer articles. So this would have been not only an attack on the customer, and a movie with background about complete misinformation, the journalistic community, the gaming community lying to you about a false narrative while attacking gamers. But the people that they defended, that they propped up, that they made famous, that they made tens of thousands of dollars and built channels were all pissed because they weren't getting any more of that moolah. So the background for everything as I see it, from the backlash leading from 2014 in entertainments through comics, through gaming, television, movies, all of this stems from Gamergate, in my opinion. I mean, much further before that, as far back as 2006, you could tell that people were looking to be able to have controlling interest in Silicon Valley and online media so that they could control the flow of information. So I decided to throw that whole chapter up there. It's about an hour and 3 minutes long. If you guys are interested, please check that out. And thank you very much. Please subscribe to all these wonderful people. And thank you for being here every week. Really appreciate you. Thanks.
All right. Mr. Culture Casino.
Okay, season 2.5, I think the high point was these last two episodes, although we covered an amazing one last week. But these last two episodes this is a two-parter. I think were very, very good. This one I would rate it almost an 8. I would somewhere between 7.5 and 8, which is much higher than Steven. I don't know what's wrong with Steven. Actually, I do. You assume too much. It's a favorite. It's one of my favorite quotes from Star Wars.
Well, are you going to tell me that Spock may have like finger banged Kirk at some point, but it landed on the editing room floor?
No. I think you're confusing that with this show, my friend. You're confusing that with the show I'm about to show on my audio avatar. There you go. You're confusing it with Magical Girl Friendship Squad, where they stick their finger in the bum of some kind of red fox badger thing. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just telling you that's what you're confusing things with. But it's a very fun episode. Season 2.5 was great overall. I enjoyed it very much. It was, I think, the season that suffered because of the writers' strike. I think that's why we ended up with 2 and 2.5. If I recall correctly.
Yeah, and, it was culture.
This two-parter was great, not because I liked any of the storyline, but because it was very well done, in my opinion. And we will talk more about that in the next episode, where I will get to roast author Stephen Walton like chestnuts. Otherwise, everybody else, have a great night. Be sure to check out Steven's book, please. He is a good man with good content, and he needs a haircut really badly, and maybe something with his beard. I don't know. Something's going on.
But you know what, Culture?
Okay,
by far,
you guys,
I
could have given a rating. Okay,
okay.
Let's just do this, please. Okay, the writers were just on strike. The writers struck out. This episode blew. It had so many potholes in it. It was like, you don't want to drive your car down this road. It's crap. It's a 3.75. I'd like to thank my name is Raquel Briggs. Okay, you can find my published nonfiction at academia.edu. You can find my science fiction at RM Briggs at amazon.com or on your Kindle device under the name RM Briggs. I'd like to thank the illustrious panel of beards and Drew. Love you guys. I want to thank the chat for constantly being here to support this show. You guys are great. I love your comments. Your hashtags they were bitching tonight. Totally awesome. Thank you for supporting this channel, and thank you for supporting my work. Please look for me here at the Pegasus Actual Podcast and at Clobbering Times on YouTube. And please, if you loved this show and thought that we were hilarious, please hit the like button, sub, and hit your notification bells.
Mm-hmm. And I do want to say, as Steven's an accomplished author, yes, but Raquel, you are super accomplished, super smart, and super gifted, and I'm very, very proud of you for getting published and doing the things that you're doing. You're an amazing creator in your own right, and you deserve all the praise in the world.
Oh, absolutely, every accolade. Yep.
Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. I had a great time tonight, and thank you for going Howard Stern, Total FM radio. We were wild, we were crazy, and we had a great time.
And you know what? The best part of it was for everybody got a chance to hang out and have a good time. The chat was on fire, and hopefully we got everybody's mind off the crappy things going on around us, and we just cut loose and had fun. And that is what it is all about, folks. And that is what we want to bring you. I mean, we give you serious analysis and a good breakdown of episodes, but most of all, we're here to entertain and have you guys have fun. And as long as you're doing that, that's what brings a smile to our faces. So thank you so much for your support and for continuing to make this show every Thursday a really solid and good addition to this community. So much appreciated. And I don't know. Anybody have any final thoughts before I say sayonara?
I just
Yes.
would like to say hello to Melanie Ham. Thank you so much for coming. You were a late comer, but thank you for coming and for supporting us.
I love you, dear Melanie.
Every single person in the chat, each one of you is so important. And Ruth Korean, I just think that your participation this evening was just excellent. Thank you so much.
Well, Raquel, it's like I told him, if he's set up for it, listen, Ruth Korean, all you have to do is shoot me a DM on Twitter and we'll set it up to get you on here for one of the discussions, because I'd say, sir, you have by far earned a guest shot on the panel for sure. So, please reach out and we'll make that happen.
No dick pics to Drew Taylor, please.
Yeah, please. Even though you're my Asian bro, man, I love you, but
thank you, Comics Division. It was so great to have you tonight. Thank you so much for supporting our
yeah.
Thank you,
I'll be
Roger.
right there.
Comics is awesome. Yeah, we're gonna be right there, buddy.
All
You
right.
never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips.
Culture, you close your eyes when I give you a kiss.
Oh, that's true.
Boy. They're
That's true.
DB-ing. They're DB-ing. Everyone leave. Run.
All right, folks. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves.
Wash your hands, wash your ass.
So say we all.
So say we all.
I'll say we